there, and there's two houses, and one's kind of a spooky house.
Spooky as in haunted? And that was it. My life was over with. And it was just a skin.
To set the scene, it looked like central casting from a horror movie from like 1982, but it was real.
Welcome, guys. This is a first for me. I figured I wanted to get a group of contractors together from different trades and kind of explore something a little bit off topic. So to loosen you up, I had a friend donate some drinks. All right.
Everyone got there.
Yep.
These are very tasty.
Very tasty. Long drinks. Yep.
Yeah, this will be my first time.
Awesome. Me too. I have not tried one before.
No, these are delicious. Great for golf. Perfect.
With spring rolling right up on us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cheers. Huh?
Cheers. Oh, I better open this.
Oh,
See, I was just going to have you guys drink. And awesome. Got a fire going. We got drinks going. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get a little food here.
Absolutely.
And tell some stories and have a good time. Sound like a plan? What do you got there? Peach.
Crisp. And today felt like spring, summer.
It did.
Felt like summer.
Oh, today was a beautiful day in Gainesville. Yes, it was.
It's very hard to beat days like this.
Yeah.
What do you got? Extra strength?
So
Black
I've
label?
been working on coffee too, worked all day. Yeah, we definitely went with the, by we, I mean me, the extra strength citrus, the black one. And this is great.
Well, me and you, Ray, we're the sweethearts.
There we are.
So we got the cranberry, you know.
So I learned a little something about this company. I didn't know anything about it. When Ben said, hey, guys, I heard you're doing a Fireside Chat. I got something for you. So I'm like, all right, I looked it up. Do you know the history of them, where they came from, all that?
It's a Finnish drink.
Finnish, that's right.
Yeah, it's very
Gold
popular
Star.
in Finland. Yeah, and I believe it's produced or sponsored by golfer Rory McIlroy.
I think you're right. But do you know where it got its start?
No.
Other than in Finland. This was really cool. So after the war, the Olympics were coming, 1952, and the government of Finland went, we don't have enough alcohol drinks to feed an Olympic crowd. So they made this national thing to nationalize. We need to come up with, how are we going to serve that much drink for the Olympics? And that's where it was born. So we are the closest thing to Olympic athletes right now. Drinking Olympic drink. Can you feel that?
Was it made for the Olympians or the people watching?
It doesn't matter. We're going to say it was for the Olympians, and we're going to go, trust me, if you went on the first round and you didn't get past the qualifying, you were having a drink, right?
Well, I like Finland because, Saudi Arabia went the opposite way for the World Cup. They kick all alcohol out. So.
They did kick it all. They did not have a national drink for that.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm going to be honest. I was worried about these. I don't really like seltzers. Not a big White Claw fan. This is delicious.
These are not seltzers.
Yeah.
They're canned cocktails.
Yeah. So gin and some type of mixed of some fruity or spice of something.
Bring this. Don't bring White Claw.
Yes.
Nice.
That's where it's at.
All right. So the question that I want to get from you guys, the dark secrets of the trade, is I want to know, what is the craziest thing you've come across on the job?
I mean,
It's a long list, man.
yeah.
A long list.
A long list.
And
All right, PG-13.
PG, right?
Yep, PG-13.
13.
Yep, and
That's 2 F words, right?
yeah, there is new ratings. Is it PG-13 from the 80s or is it PG-13 from today?
You're the one in charge of this game.
That's right, TV-14. That's TV-14.
I don't know what that is.
Just we're probably big with the 13, 14-year-old crowd. So let's keep it at that level there. They're probably the only ones streaming us right now. Bunch of old guys sitting out by the fire, making fun of us. We're going to be a meme. I guarantee you we're going to be a meme by the end of this.
However you get viral.
I guess that's true. All right, so who wants to start first?
I'll start us off. My favorite thing that I love, especially since moving to Gainesville, is the unfused conductors that have gone around Gainesville. I don't know, they didn't really follow that kind of codes, especially to the outskirts. I've seen a lot of meter cans with unfused conductors wrapping around the outside of buildings, going over people's front doors, unprotected.
Yep.
Service entrance cable, unfused. I've walked around houses where somebody has bent the service through the eave of the house, and I almost hit it with my ladder. That would have really sucked. So just it's crazy how they didn't have those kind of codes, or they didn't really care to follow them.
Yeah, so like history of code, right? The code came about strictly for life and safety. Now it's morphed into energy and stuff now, which we can have a whole nother discussion about codes.
Yeah.
But it morphed out of health and safety because so many people were dying, either in fires or electrocutions or things like that, in and around your housing that is supposed to be safe, right?
Well, when I started the trade, my father told me you can tell an old FPL worker by how many fingers he had.
Yeah. Blowing right off.
Yeah, and you just keep going.
Yeah. So that is some crazy. And the older stock, when you start getting some of the old historic homes.
Yes.
Yeah. Beautiful. And the funny thing about the historic homes, there's not much you can do either. Like you're limited on what you're allowed to do. And you see the craziness, but it's grandfathered in. Like, no, you can't touch that. It's an exterior element.
By law. Yep. Can't change it.
Can't change it. Crazy. What do you got, Lamar? You've got to have some craziness.
Kind of my go-to is the detailing, right? Auto detailing. So I'm coming across, some really filthy vehicles and things you find under seats and stuff. But I think of late, because I'll do some property maintenance, and a friend of the family has property up there, and there's two houses, and one's kind of a spooky house.
Spooky as in haunted?
You could set up film for there.
Because I am a huge Halloween fan. Like, I love Halloween.
Steve Keel here, he actually, this is funny because it was after our business chapter meeting. I think we're meeting up at Wawa for something that day, but I had to go down to this house. And so it's like 3719 and 3729. I said, okay, which house is it there? He said, well, it's kind of the one, kind of the spooky house.
You can tell when you pull up which house it is. It's not hard to tell which house is
when you label it as a spooky house. But if you didn't label it as a spooky house.
I mean, you can't see it through the first shrubbery until he took care of it. You couldn't see it the first time I went there.
So, the outcome wasn't terrible, but the lead up was enough to have him and I on our toes. So again,
So you phoned a friend to go into the house for the first time.
Well, a couple guys. We got to go down to this property. I need to take a look because there may have been a back window busted out.
You have no idea what's inside.
No, there was you told me there was a back window and there may be somebody there.
Maybe some vagrants there.
Unwelcomed people.
Unwelcome people, and it's been for a while, apparently.
This house was not available on Verbo.
I bet you it is. You could actually go that. People would rent the unknown.
Well,
I would not recommend staying.
so the outside was vines growing up the side of the siding, the windows, things like that.
It was a busted up house.
It was busted up. So we get Steve Keel in case the fire starts, and I got an electrician to I don't know, do some rewiring or something. But we go to the back, and the back window is busted out, and doors were locked. So that was our way in. So we started ground level, hopped the window sill. There's glass everywhere, and I don't know. We grabbed sticks or something, blunt objects we could have in our hands. But we walked the house.
He's lying. I didn't have a weapon.
In case we needed something, but we walked the house and go to the second story, and all I heard from the owners was, "Well, then be careful about upstairs. There may be some of the flooring missing."
There was.
There was.
So, so Steve and I would kind of attack different rooms, through checking closets for anybody that might jump out and spook us.
Yeah, I knocked. Housekeeping! You want me for pillow?
Yeah. And so there were things we found. There was, some drug paraphernalia. People had been living there for a while. They actually took out the Christmas ornaments and set up some Christmas ornaments.
That's nice.
Took out some of the books.
Made it look homely, more spooky.
I think there was even a little
set up the dolls there, staring at you.
Set up, and so nothing was found. It was a danger zone. So we left unharmed. And
you didn't fall through the floor.
Didn't fall through the floor.
And you didn't have to beat anyone with a stick. And you didn't have to see Steve running and jumping out the window, leaving you behind.
Yeah, there was no one in there. I mean, we checked.
We checked. What's happened?
Closets, crawl spaces, and everything. Yeah. So
I'm surprised, honestly, that you had him come over, because in situations like that, the rule is, I don't have to be fast. I just have to be faster than the person I invite with me. We should have a run.
He said me first. He said, "Go upstairs. I'll check down here." I'm like, "All right, yeah." And I thought about it. Wait.
Now you're hearing the story about the homeowners.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Nice.
The crazy part about that, I was completely cool with the missing floor, the broken windows, the drug paraphernalia. I've seen that on First 48. That doesn't faze me at all. This man said something about dolls. And I'm like, no. Man, if I see the porcelain dolls, I'm jetting.
You've seen Chucky one too many times.
Yeah, or Annabelle.
The Ouija board would have scared you, huh? Yeah.
Oh, man, yes, I want to see crack pipes. I do not want to see satanic anything up there communing with the dead. I'm good. I love how, you kind of hit on it a little bit. That drives me nutty when a homeowner, there may be some floor missing. Like, you either know that you have flooring missing, or you...
It wasn't a question mark,
Whereabouts, upstairs as you walk into the rooms. Is it the back room? Is it right there?
I'm not sure that homeowner has been in that house that many times.
Okay. But I run across it all the time.
Yes.
Where it's there may be razor blades, I don't know, whatever, not nail sticking. No, for a fact that they're there. You just don't want to cop to it completely.
Well, that actually leads me into mine. All right. So, in a prior life, I did a lot of inspecting of houses and stuff like that. So this was up in Virginia. It was right on the Chesapeake Bay. Beautiful house. He wanted it inspected prior to being listed. Wanted to know everything that was wrong. So I show up, and it was just about dusk. It was just getting ready for the sunset. But it's on the bay, beautiful look. And it's on a crawl space, and I'm suiting up, and the homeowner's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm going to inspect your house." And he's like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "Going underneath the crawl space there." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What do you mean, yeah?" He goes, "So, right about where you're standing, just about an hour ago, I killed the biggest water moccasin I've ever seen in my entire life. Right there. Now, you know what happens when you got a big snake? There's probably little snakes around.
Little babies.
So, now it's dusk. I don't know if you can pick up on it. I don't know if you guys see it, but there's stuff in the background right now making noises. Sounds just like that. And I got to crawl under this house, huge house, where there's probably water moccasins. Now, snakes are one thing. Like, you get under snakes, water moccasins are not scared of you. They actually want to take you on. They're like, there's a human, let's go. They puff up. I don't like snakes. Spiders and snakes,
I don't mess with snakes.
Give me the dolls, the Ouija board, give me the people in the thing, not a problem. Fall through the attic, let's go. You give me a little tiny spider or a snake, and I'm like, I'm out. So, but it's my job, I'm getting paid. So I go underneath the crawl. Go every ounce. Now I'm sweating. I know I'm going to die of a snake. So through the entire crawl space, nothing. I'm like, woo, I made it. So go back inside, do all my inside. The last thing I do is go to the attic. Don't even have to worry about getting the ladder. He's got this gigantic pull down stairs, a platform up top, enclosed attic space where all the insulation stuff's up on the roof line. And I'm like, this would be classic. So I get up there, I get to the top of it, I start walking, and there's the attic, insulation's puffed out there, and I'm thinking, maybe there's some rot or something back there, and I go ahead and I move the insulation. Doesn't a snake come out?
Oh my goodness.
Falling right on me. So what do? Of course, I man up, right? No. Scream like I'm going to get killed by murderers. I go to get back. Snake's attacking me, and I trip, and I'm right at the mouth of the thing, so I'm going down. I'm like, I'm dead. This is it. I'm goner. Luckily, I ended up like right on the platform, like right before I fell through the hole. Made the biggest noise out there. I'm scrambling around. Homeowner comes running up, sees me wrestling the snake. Ends up being a snake's skin. No snake. He's asking me, yelling at me, what's going on? And I'm yelling at him that it's his fault because he just got me all worked up about this snake or whatever. So now we're arguing, whatever, and I'm out. I'm like, done. I'm done. But here I almost died from going through the attic stairs. I've never fallen out of an attic before. Never fallen through an attic, knock on wood.
Oh, wow.
Many years I've done this, never. And that was it. My life was over with. And it was just a skin. Killed me. Almost died. I'm like, I couldn't pay enough for this.
Oh man, I'm a big guy, but I'm right there with you. My soul will left my body, which is my story. I guess if I had to share one, it's kind of, I wouldn't say stole it, but man, it's a snake story. I'm up in an attic. Man, there was more spider webs than I've ever seen in my life. It looked like the set of Tales from the Crypt. It was just.
Man, you went deep for that. How old are you?
I don't know about that scary skeleton got covered in spider web that was all around this attic. It smelled bad. It was a very small attic.
And you're not a very small guy.
I'm not. But for this customer, very nice people, I got my big self into that little attic. And I get up there, doesn't smell great, and it's covered in spider webs. I'm not overly. I know you're a spider guy, right?
I'm done.
So, but I'm not like overly scared of spiders. I mean, I don't like them. I don't want them crawling on me, but like they don't raise my heart rate. I'll swat them off me, whatever. But it was to set the scene. It looked like central casting from a horror movie from like 1982, but it was real. And so I get into the attic.
So you just climbed in the attic? You didn't like try and knock the webs out?
Well, to be fair, it wasn't like hanging. Everything like hard surfaces. So there was an air handler up there that was covered in.
I'm borrowing a broom. I'm borrowing something now.
No,
This
I don't
thing's
want to
good.
disturb them.
Oh no!
I'm not pissing them off.
Because you're going to hit the nest.
I'm gonna hit it with the broom. I'm gonna hit it with the broom.
It
Yeah.
might be sleep time for those spiders, man. I'm not
Dude.
trying
He
to
doesn't
put
take a
that
weapon into a house he's going to get murdered in, but he's going to take one in to get the spiders.
I'm not afraid of ghosts.
Leave them be.
Yeah, I'm not trying to disturb their rest.
Okay.
Yeah,
As soon
so
as you touch your web, you disturb them.
well,
Well,
but you can kind of look down, and you can see it covering the rafters and the roof line and a little bit of the ductwork and the air.
And this was one of the homers that there may be a spider or two up there, right? There may be.
I have to say, your homeowner, that's the nicest guy I've ever heard of in my life. I've never had a homeowner that would warn me like that. They would not have told me that at all, which might have been.
You would have got killed by the snake, and then they would have said, yeah, now that you say that.
I did see one there.
I just thought I killed them all. Right?
That's true. You're right.
But no, I had no warning. I get up there. It looks like Tales from the Crypt. I get up on the ladder. It's not like the pull down ladder. It's just like the kind where you push it up and move it out of the way. I'm sure it disturbs some spiders there. So I move it out. I get up. I look around. Everything's good. I climb up into the scuttle hole. I get into it, and there's a board across so you're not, on drywall. And this is like in a garage area. And I put my knees on the board. And then in front of me, like 6 foot away, there's the air handler, the indoor air conditioning unit that I need to go to. And I hear something move.
You should be the only thing up there moving.
You heard something move.
I heard something move.
I've never heard a spider move.
It was
So-
a spider story.
Oh, that's right. It's a snake story. Damn.
Well, it might be a snake story. So, yeah, it's a snake story. So, yeah, didn't hear any spiders move at all. But I heard something move.
Oh,
And I look down. And I see the biggest rat tail I've ever seen in my life. You know how like a rat has that long, hairless, skinny tail? And but that thing was this big around and that long, and I heard it move, and it smelled bad, and it's full of spider webs. And I look down, and so my knees are here, like within less than a foot. The biggest rat tail I've ever seen, off gray color, right? It's right there. I'm not also overly scared of rats. Rats don't bother me. I know that they can bite, so I'm not trying to get tangled up with a rat.
Black plague.
Yeah, look, 2004, I think we're okay there, maybe. So I look down, I see the rat tail, and I just kind of take a breath.
How many signs did you need?
Like for real.
I mean,
Seriously?
come on.
Spiders,
Here's your
rats,
sign.
and you started off, it's a snake story.
Smell?
Just want to make sure.
Any raccoons?
Not yet. Man, raccoons don't bother me. I go
Was there any
six, so-
any dolls up there?
Dolls would have been done. That's where you
Dolls, he was out, yeah.
Man, I've never
The spiders, the rat tail, and the snake story, but the dolls, I'm out of there.
Man, if they had those porcelain dolls up there covered in spider web and the eyes following you, Mama, I'd not.
God, I gotta tell you about the house I worked in about who collect dolls.
Well, they're going to find different service providers. So, anyways, I look down
The rat tail.
and I hear it, and I look down, it's a rat tail. That's not cool. I don't want the rat to bite me. I don't want to scare it. So I just but my heart's not racing or anything. I'm just like, ugh. So I kind of move over and start looking back.
Give them space.
Give them there's no space. There's nowhere to go. And I look back, and that rat tail kept going.
Then going.
And that was by God, in my mind at the time, 18 foot. It was the biggest oak/rat snake I've ever seen in my life, right next to me. And I get it. All the viewers at home are going to be like, well, that's not poisonous. Nothing about that entered my mind at the time. I have a snake within a foot of me in a place where I have no room to go.
You did not identify it yet.
Not until.
No, man, I'm not Steve Irwin. I'm just.
See how that worked out for him.
So wait,
Ooh, too soon. So it's a snake, not a rat.
thank you. I was confused. All right, okay, where
It
did
was a snake that ate the rats.
I'm working through
I was like, get the rat back to distract the snakes.
He already ate that. I'm working I'm leading you through my mental process.
This was a house?
It's a rat tail about that long, right next to my knee. And I'm like, and I wasn't super worried.
But it wasn't a rat tail.
Because that rat kept going for about 8 feet that way. And I'm sure it was only about 5 feet, whatever. But as I look, the rat tail starts moving, not a rat tail, snake tail. Look back, and that thing is slithering, and he is now closer to the attic hole than I am. So I can't even leave the attic. I gotta watch that thing look back at me,
Laughing.
nod at me, nod at like he knows me, stick his tongue out, and I didn't scream, I didn't holler, I just
Did you have any tools?
That's where the broom would have been.
I don't think I had anything but my phone, man. And so he looked back at me, nodded like he recognized me, and then turned back and just crawled back over to the eave of the house and left. And so as I collected myself,
Maybe it was a family pet.
I get back down into that attic, and then I start trying to figure out what in the world am I going to do.
Because you still got a job to do.
Still broke. Still broke.
Yeah.
I mean, there doesn't. I mean, it's yeah.
And they want air. They want air.
So, yeah, I called a coworker. Said, "Hey, man, what's going on, broski?" Said, "You a fan of snakes?" Not really. God dang. Because I was thinking, that you run across people that like playing with them things.
How far away are you?
Yeah. But anyways, long story very short. Because I'm Bogart. The whole thing is, I did end up fixing the unit. I did tell the homeowner about the snake away from the wife. Sorry. And to help him out, and that repair was not a normally priced repair.
And luckily, what I didn't hear you say was the homeowner go, yeah, I actually forgot to tell you about the snake.
Well, he's probably smarter than that. Because Trey would have never went back up into that attic. The end.
Man. Yeah, nope. Spider, snake, rats. What do I see?
I smell
Oh, what? I smell something too. Man, is this David's?
Wife, I would say you should tell me if there's a snake.
Oh my God.
David's barbecue showing up.
Brought some ribs, baked beans, coleslaw, and classic garlic bread on the side.
Man. First long drinks, now ribs.
Hey, Invite me back over anytime, Ray.
Tell you, man. Yeah.
This is great.
We also have 5 different kinds of sauces. So there's mustard barbecue, our original sweet or the Carolina sauce, or
Well, obviously, I'm gonna have sweet.
hot and spicy.
Do you have bitter? Do you have anything bitter? Sweet and bitter?
Wow, what a great surprise.
I don't know.
Wow. It does.
Nice, awesome.
Carolina vinegar.
I wouldn't order. Hey, this is if I have my preferences, this is exactly what I'd order. That came in clutch. Thank you.
Does everybody want to use sweet?
Did you say you had original?
Yes.
I'll take that.
I'm a sweet guy.
I might
like
try the
that.
sweet.
Awesome.
You have to share.
Is it Carolina mustard or Carolina?
The Carolina
the
vinegar
mustard?
or the mustard? It's just the mustard barbecue.
Mustard.
Should be in there. Yes.
There we go.
The hot and spicy is my favorite. So
Oh, that's so good.
the sweet will come around.
That's the sweet.
Awesome.
Ray has the sweet.
Oh, right here.
That's
Good sweet word.
I passed it. I wasn't gonna hog it.
just dip fast.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
The reward for sticking it out and getting the unit fixed
Yeah.
through the spiders, the rats, and the snakes.
Spiders and the rats did not bother me, but the snake made me question my career choice.
Once again, no rat.
No rat.
To be clear, there was no rat.
He's still caught up on the rat, the non-existent rat.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause if I see a tail, my first thought is not rat. My first thought is always snake.
Well,
Peace out.
I don't know why. It just smelled. Maybe it smelled like what I'd imagine, and it looked like a rat tail.
Well, rat, snake.
In the
I can
dim
see.
light.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, snakes. I'm out. I'm scared.
Yeah. Well, we're in good company. You got Indiana Jones, right? Indiana Jones don't like snakes either.
That is true, but he always got the job done.
Yeah.
I'm hearing from this, peace out, no job done. Phone a friend.
Yeah.
Is that when you give a referral to one of your greatest
my
competitors?
My friends.
Yeah. You call them up, say, I got a hot lead for you.
Here you go, Brandon from Riverbend. Here you go.
Man, I think I've had a couple of those referrals.
I actually have a snake story.
Uh-oh.
I'll tell you guys real quick.
We're not eating snake, is it?
No.
I mean,
I don't care. This is so good. I'll eat the snake.
Yeah, I'll eat snake. Yeah, I don't care.
But since we're telling the snake stories, I'll just jump in. I had a lot of rabbits when I was growing up, and I had a rabbit hutch. And as a child, the top of the hutch was right at my eye level, and I was cleaning it out. And I mean, that whole, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. I mean, luckily it was just a nice rat snake, so it didn't bite me. But it was a snake, and it was.
And it sounds like it was full.
Well, no.
Okay.
I didn't have any baby rabbits at the time, but all of you out here complaining about the snakes, I just caught the snake and relocated it, and everything was fine.
What's your number?
Yeah. Next time. Yeah.
So call me, David, so I can wrangle your snakes and bring you some food.
Nice.
Oh,
Yep.
awesome.
Oh, we order the food. We order lunch. We tell the homeowner, "Hey, it's lunchtime. Got to clock out."
Yeah,
Amen. Yeah.
it's a $25 delivery fee.
Yeah. You said yours.
Oh, that's well worth it.
State Wrangler 3.
That is well worth it.
You're saying your snake was a nice snake. I didn't.
It was a rat snake.
I didn't ascertain the demeanor of my
Yeah, I'm
snake.
not trying
What
to
do you
see
mean?
what kind of snake.
If you
He
let
nodded
them
at
bite
you.
a couple of times and they'll leave you alone,
That might have been like a gang nod.
their whole life.
It might have been like a.
Oh, could have been.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not taking anything for granted at all.
See, my problem with snakes are, I don't want to get close enough to tell, is the head a diamond shape or not a diamond shape? Are those, is it red on black, friend of Jack? What is all that stuff? I don't really, I don't care.
Red on yellow, kill a fellow. Red on black, friend of Jack.
Oh.
Actually, last year, I've seen like 2 or 3 coral snakes my entire life, and I've been in Florida forever. And I saw the first coral snake at a job like last year. I mean, it wasn't close or anything. They're pretty chill. They're pretty cool. They're not picking up.
That's what everyone says. Snakes are more scared of you than anything. I'm like, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
Yeah. Dalv, I don't know. Have they done like a debrief interview with one of these snakes to figure it out? 'Cause I'm pretty darn scared.
I like to get my levels taken when I see a snake.
Yeah, do they hook them up for cortisone? And, what are your cortisone levels, Mr. Snake? Let me compare them to mine.
Snake. Lord. need some.
You need to lay it.
Therapy.
Yeah,
Snake
Snake
therapy?
therapy. How did that make you feel, Mr. Snake?
No. Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, I don't need snake therapy. Is that like goat yoga? I don't want that.
they're standing on your back.
Yeah.
Great. But going through some of these attics is yoga. I mean, you feel like you're putting your knee up by your head and moving over, and because you got to step on the. Yeah, so I definitely feel like I do yoga going through some of those attics.
I would like to see you in a yoga class, Ray.
Definitely, I could do that. I can do anything for a second.
Get a cat.
Yeah, for a second. But I ain't good as I once was.
That's true.
All right. Well, that seemed like a softball. So. What about? What's the most difficult job you've come across and spent too long of a time troubleshooting and solving to come to find out it was like the easiest solution, like you overlooked right at the beginning?
Well, mine's easy because I'm an electrician, so GFIs. It's as simple as either pushing a button or somebody crossed a neutral in a box that's not supposed to be, and I've got to hunt that thing down because it's tripping this GFI over here because something's plugged in over here, or the arc fault breakers where you have to trace out all the neutrals. Tracing out neutrals, and when they cross them and tie them together in the wrong box, it could take me 14 hours, and I could have passed it the first time. It's because I traced out the wrong wire, toned out the wrong wire. I've spent too many times tracing out GFIs that it could have been a simple cross wire, a simple fix. There's a junction box that was easily swapped. It's a nightmare tracing these out sometimes. There are ghosts in wires. They are real.
And I can almost see that. I can feel that. But mine, like, I have an electrical story, and you're probably going to laugh at me. But being a master electrician, I'm an early adopter of things. You know, home automation, all that. Does anyone ever remember X10? It's still out there, but that's like not the very first, but one of the first widely adopted home automation things.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Like all my houses or whatever. Well, I moved from one house to the other. I took my automation out of that house. I moved into the other house. So I'm in this house, getting it all set up. I got a kitchen with an island. And above the island's a nice little light fixture, 2-bulb light fixture, whatever. It's a 3-way switch. And I'm like, I'm going to put this thing on home automation so I can like control these lights and all this stuff. So I went, put the switch in, flipped the breaker, turned it on, didn't work. I'm like, I really thought I wired that correctly. Went, turned the breaker off, took it all back on, looked at it, rewired it, put it in. Now, 3-ways are kind of tricky to begin with, which one's a traveler and all that other stuff. So a little tricky, so it's possible you screwed it up, put it back together, flipped it, didn't work. Now I'm frustrated. 2, 3, 4 different tries. Now I'm swapping wires now because I didn't have the instructions. I took it out of the other house, but I thought I remembered how I did it. I'm an hour in now. My wife is sitting over there all pleasant and just kind of laughing at me or whatever. And she's finally like, you need to call my dad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not calling your dad. She's like, no, you really need to call my dad. I'm like,
Who is a master electrician?
Who is a master electrician. I'm like, there is no way. I know how to wire switches, honey. I took it out of the other house. It worked fine. The switch is bad. She's like, switch probably ain't bad. I'm like, no, it is. It's got to be bad. We got to order a new one. She's like, you're not ordering new ones unless you call my dad.
So I haven't heard the story, but what I've heard yet is you never actually went to the fixture. It's always a switch.
You're a smart ass, aren't you? Just like my father-in-law.
Yeah.
So I did ultimately call her dad. And I went through everything. I explained why the switch was bad.
Yeah.
And he said, did you check the light bulb?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mike, funny on you. It's not one light bulb. It's more than one. So, of course, why do I need to check the light bulb? They work just fine. He's like, do me a favor, check the light bulb. I'm like, Mike, it's too long. Like, what? There's 2 bulbs in there. It worked an hour ago. It's the switch. He's like, man, check the bulb. So Huff went over, grabbed the new bulb, screwed it in. Damn it, didn't both bulbs go out the exact same time while I was doing this? No, I'm sure I did something that caused them to go out.
This was before LED.
That is true.
So you had filaments.
Yep.
Those things, any little surges can pop those things anytime. You see them dangling at the bottom of the bulb all the time. They're really fun to float around. Yeah, but one of my favorite inventions is those little cheap wands. So the first thing I can do is there power here?
Is there power?
Yeah, because I need to make sure. And those are great, not end-all be-alls, but
also help
save
you
a lot of
shocking
time.
yourself when you go up to a circuit, too.
Save a lot of time, yes.
Yep. So, yeah, I could have saved myself an hour in humiliation having to call the father-in-law to tell him to change the light bulb. To this day.
As a master electrician, my first thing to do is I usually start at the source.
Which is why you are a master and I am a Padawan.
Well, it took many years of learning.
I think not as entertaining as that because I didn't have a father-in-law. This happened a couple times here and there. I mean, not the exact same thing. I'm trying to get burnt doing the exact same thing once. But man, I think it's good.
It is good.
Really good.
Hit the spot.
Man.
Hit the spot.
So long day of a full furnace install. The guys are out there. I stop back in to help them button it up, get everything running, finish up with the homeowner, check in, do the happy check, make sure everything's where it needs to be, and help them finish up the job. So everything, all the hard stuff's done. Everything is great, awesome looking install. Everything's plumb, square, level. Just everything's perfect. And there was no way to get this thing on. Like, absolutely, just it would not come on. And I've got power to the unit. I've got power, everywhere else I need to have power.
You great and you stop by to just check on them?
Yeah, basically. And, just help them do a few small little touch-up things. And I mean, it's a beautiful install. They didn't need me there. And, but it took a while. It was a full furnace. It took a while. So it started getting dark and just couldn't get this thing to turn on. And started calling, tech support, but couldn't get through to that guy at that time. And finally told the guys, guys, whatever this problem is, it doesn't take 3 people. It's late. I'll put a good day's work in. Go home. I'll either figure this out or have to call somebody in tomorrow morning, but y'all go ahead and take it to the house.
You don't seem to be the type of guy that says it's going to beat me.
Yeah. It would bother me. It's happened, but I don't sleep well that night. Yeah, and that's all. It's just it'll run with me until I figure it out. So I send them home, and can't get on with tech support, who probably would have helped me out really quick. And so then I start just checking the wiring diagram. Like, okay, well, let me see where I'm losing this power because I have it coming in. And if I wouldn't have taken one thing for granted, then I probably would have figured this out really quick. Because you take it for granted that when they ship equipment, but this is in the middle of COVID.
Brand new equipment, yeah.
Brand new equipment. This is in the middle.
The bulbs are not out.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Middle of COVID. Come on. Look, that was way worse than what I'm doing.
Thanks. Give me that barbecue.
So middle of COVID, the supply chain's all over the place. Quality control is non-existent, and we're still dealing with reputable brands, but we're dealing with whatever we can get at the time, and whatever they're doing in their factory across the board for any brands. That COVID years were rough, and so I just started, checking out the wiring diagram. I guess I'll just start from square one because I ruled out everything else. And it's a long story to say that there were 2 wires. Now they weren't just hanging out loose in the front; they were in the wire bundle, facing the opposite way, so you couldn't just see. And on these control boards, you have like 82 different spade bit connectors all the way around it. There's tons of places for stuff to be plugged in, and they're all full up. And you can't just look at it and realize that 2 are missing. But finally, I just started, okay, this should be hooked up. I'm just like checking the wire diagram and find out 2 are missing. I look back around, and sure enough, there's 2 spade bit connectors hanging behind it in the wire bundle. Pull the breaker, kick those in, turn it back on, fires up, and runs like a champ. And I spent probably 2 or 3 hours trying to look, because they didn't plug in 2 wires in the factory. Nothing else was wrong with the unit.
At least that wasn't on you.
Well, but I shouldn't have taken it for granted that the equipment showed up. But yes.
How many times has that happened to you where equipment hasn't been hooked up?
2 or twice. Yeah. And a very, very rare. But I'll tell you, the next time that it happened,
you were looking for that.
Yeah.
First thing I ever check is those damn light bulbs now when I come in. Every single time. It's never been a light bulb ever since then. Never.
But you usually learn from your mistakes way more.
Yeah, but what did I learn? It's never the light bulb ever since.
But you start from there and work your way back.
I hear you. All right, Lamar. Come on, man. Bring us home.
It's all about, learning from those previous mishaps, right? Took you 10 times as long, just trying to figure out how to work smarter than harder. But from the experiences, you pick up something. Okay, so, mine is just a simple fix that I learned to make the job easier. So I'm doing a cleaning job, so I got the carpet cleaner, and it's got 3 attachments: power cord, pressure hose, and then the extraction hose, the 2-inch. So when you're running those, and you got the machine, the portable machine that's extracting, you got to run on different breakers, first of all. So it's wise. And if you're in some places, here you all talk about
Older homes, yeah.
older homes and then wiring and things like that. But so you got 1 cord here, 1 cord there, high pressure water hose. And my quick fix was just, because I'm like going over passes, right? So it's not a left and right, back your way out, work in the very back of the property if it's indoors, and then work your way out. So you're not trekking over clean work, right? So when you have these hoses and you got 3 different ones and 1 over there, it made sense to just get them bundled up. So whether it's Velcro straps, Publix bags that you just loosely tie, these wrap cords, and that was just the quick fix. And it was just learning from the mistake. Here I am trying to kick it, and then you're untangling it, and you're trying to pack it up. It takes you 10 times as long.
The Publix bag hack.
That worked.
Life hack.
And actually, the
Public bags are great for lots of things.
They are.
It's slippery. You got the glide through, as opposed to maybe some Velcro straps that kind of catch. So working smarter instead of harder, maximize time, I guess.
Nice.
I like that he plugged his out wires into 2 different outlets, and when 90% of the time they're usually on the same circuit.
Especially if they're outside. The 2 outside outlets all in the
It's
same
usually in
circuit.
your garage, yeah.
So
The things you would learn from the master electrician.
it is. He's.
Master mentor,
I'll teach
too.
you. I'll teach you. Don't worry.
Now I know why you're calling him first. Yep. Now I know why.
Otherwise, you're just figuring it out, and you suffer on those experiences.
Yeah, what I have learned, if you need that extra power, is garbage disposal has a dedicated, right? And then you could do like the garage, or not that they want, but usually a microwave or a refrigerator has a dedicated circuit too. So
Garage doors.
yeah,
Like if you see a garage door, unplug that, plug it in. That's usually dedicated.
That's what I like.
learn something new.
Washing machines.
Yeah, washing
That's where I'm
machines.
usually tapping in for hot water.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
So
Didn't think you'd come out of here learning something, huh?
That's what these are for, right?
Yeah.
Not just for free food and drinks.
You know what I also did learn? Speaking of that,
Free food, man.
when I was looking into this, they have a zip code finder online. So you go to their website and you put in your zip code, and they tell you the closest place to your house on where you can pick these up.
Luckily, I know Ben, so I just call him up.
Nice. Nice. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. You got to hang out as long as you want.
I think
We got a couple more drinks.
You got all these
We got a couple
coolers
more
back there.
drinks,
Yep.
so, yeah.
Yeah, Ben was good to you.
Yeah, he
I
was.
think
make it a long.
I love these, and I think I'm gonna go with David's barbecue for my wedding.
They do. They cater weddings, and it's not just barbecue.
Mm.
They like charcuterie plates. I don't even know that. Dr. Oz taught me that word back there when I was growing up.
I'm single, but I might think about a wedding if I can have David's barbecue there. You know,
Well,
Let them know, and they show right up. $25 delivery fee to your wedding.
Thank you for this food.
You say I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna stay single and just go for breakfast.
They do have breakfast. That's true.
What?
They have
Oh,
breakfast
yeah,
too.
man.
yeah, breakfast sandwich.
It's crazy.
That's the best part of David's.
Is the drive-through. It's just
Only at the 39th location though.
okay.
Yeah.
What's closer?
How many locations do they got?
They got two.
One east side, one west.
One on the east, one on the west. Cover
Nice.
all of Gainesville.
The west side only has the drive-through,
Yeah,
Let me try them both.
but they both have breakfast.
they both got the breakfast.
I didn't realize that. No breakfast.
And if you have a snake in the attic for $25, you can get lunch and the snake removed.
Yeah. Stolen.
What kind of great revenge would that be if I got a snake? We barbecue snake. You know, like, I might would eat that snake just out of spite.
You know what also they have? They will bring a grill out and grill like hamburgers and hot dogs in an event or whatever. If you tell them I have a snake, do you think they can bring the grill to the job site?
I think we're promising things that I don't know if they can do.
David,
Maybe.
will you grill snakes that you catch for us for $25?
Is there a size? Is there a minimum?
That's your minimum purchase. If we supply the snake, will you supply the grill?
Yes.
Maybe in Florida.
Well, Ray, cheers, man.
Cheers.
This is awesome.
Appreciate
I
it.
had a great time.
Great drink. Great
Nice.
food.
Thank you, David.
Not sure if I-
Thank you for David's. Thank you for the long drink.
Blue and the orange.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know what topics next time we should talk about.